Hi, I'm Chris Combs, Director of the Hypersonics and Compressible Flow Lab here at UTSA. We're working on a variety of active projects related to the development of high-speed flight systems with applications in space access, commercial transport, and defense, with support from sponsors including NASA, the U.S. Air Force, and Southwest Research Institute. Our group's growing fast, and we have over 20 graduate and undergraduate students currently engaged in research in our lab. And during this tour, you're going to get to meet a few of them and learn about some of the things that they've been working on. I'm particularly excited for you to see the progress that we've been making on the Mach 7 hypersonic wind tunnel facility here at UTSA. I hope you enjoy the tour, and always feel free to reach out online via email or on Twitter with the contact information provided on the screen.
Hi, my name is Matt Garcia, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick tour of the UTSA's Hypersonics lab. So as soon as you walk into the lab, you'll actually notice this big giant piece of metal just wrapped around. It almost takes up the whole entire length of the laboratory. This section is actually called the driver tube. We can heat up the driver tube up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit and pressurize it up to 2,000 psi, and that's a lot of pressure. So as we make our way up to the upper portion of the wind tunnel, you'll notice this blue box right here. Now think about this for a second. Our wind tunnel tests last about 300 milliseconds. And we have to obtain, let's say, roughly 100,000 data points in those 300 milliseconds. We need something to actuate very fast and collect all that data. That's why we use a laser. Now this giant tank right here helps us pull a vacuum into our wind tunnels to kind of get those higher speeds. So the last part of the lab is actually called the control room. Here in the control room, we can monitor and control all the pieces of equipment that are in the lab. So now that you have a quick tour of the lab, let me go ahead and introduce you to some of the team members. Hey, what you working on?
I'm working right now on plotting the test data into MATLAB.
Why did you decide to be a grad student?
Because I wanted more knowledge in a specific field, which is thermal and fluids, which is what we're studying here.
What are your future plans?
I hopefully want to get into design for aerodynamic surfaces.
Hey, what are you working on?
So right now I'm trying to insert a thermocouple probe in here to measure the air temperature and the driver tube of our wind tunnel facility. This is going to help tell us what temperature we truly get to, so that we prevent condensation of the gas whenever it goes through our nozzle into our test section. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm making sure I can get a probe that's to go pretty much further into the driver tube to tell us what the air temperature is.
What made you decide to go into grad school?
So I was very intrigued. After undergrad, I went to work in industry, and I realized that the work I did was not as challenging, as compelling. And so at some point I was like, hey, I want to come back to school and do a lot more fundamental engineering work. That goes into the design and concepts of what we actually build after you're an undergrad. So I decided it was time to come back to grad school and just gain some more understanding.
What are your future plans?
Get out of grad school. But on a more serious note, just work more with either hypersonics or renewable energy whenever I'm done with this. Definitely in industry whenever I'm complete. So
about an inch.
Hey y'all, what are y'all working on?
Hey, we're measuring this ferrule, the distance between the end of this pipe and this nut right here, because we got to put a PT on that expansion section right there.
And what's a PT?
PT is a pressure transducer. It's what you use to measure the pressure inside the driver tube.
What got you into research?
I've wanted to work in aerospace, and so Dr. Combs, who is pretty much the head of aerospace here at UTSA, got me into the lab, and so now I'm working here just helping out with...
And you're working as an undergrad, right?
Yeah, I'm an undergrad.
Congratulations. What are your future plans?
I want to go and get a master's in aerospace, so this is kind of my gateway to getting into grad school for me.
What do you want to do for the future plans?
I think I would like to do research in like a national laboratory or an industry.